Great, very interesting. Great. So we just had a call with one of the banks. I was working with the FinSimco guys. We were kind of mid-stage discussions on various topics, but especially the thing I found very interesting was the discussion on the initial price offer and the price offering for them to ballpark and get an understanding of how much the product would cost, and also so they've gone back to their business units and they've had and to their management and they've had a discussion, and now they know that the price point is a bit too steep for them. So it's a bit interesting to see how they position themselves in the discussion, trying to show that they understood our point of view and the point of view of a startup and how the startup has to remain viable and sustain itself. But then it was also good to see how they explained their own side. They were saying that they obviously need to go back to their managers and say, oh look, we've gotten some concessions, so we can go ahead with this product. Whereas at the moment, the management thinks this product is just a bit too expensive, and they just need to show that there is some sliding room. Now, everything here has a sort of tactics and a level of sincerity, and evaluating that based on how they say things, based on what they say, based on our relationship with them is really the key. Because it's normal for people to use these tactics, and sometimes they're tactics and sometimes they're sincere. And the key is to strike a good balance depending on the customer. And also from our point of view, from Simco, from the people making the offering, there needs to be that same level of comprehension and an agreement on how much of a salesman tactics do you go for and how much sincerity you go for. Because going too sincere, then it's very easy for the other side to undercut you and take advantage of you. But whereas going too salesman tactics, or their side being too aggressive on their tactics to counter our offers, so there needs to be a good balance. So it's very interesting to listen. Then I have my own opinions and points of views, and I discuss it with the guys, see what they think. But it's very good learning for me. So I see how to approach it, how to answer questions. When they offer space and they say, okay, maybe you should go back and have a chat with your guys so we can conclude the conversation. Well, then that's also a very interesting point to have, to then know when to say, okay, thank you very much. Well, we're going to go back and just recap the key points of the conversation and show them, reciprocate that understanding. Because otherwise it's plain obvious and clear that they that they in some ways are controlling the conversation, and it also detracts from the relationship to not reciprocate. Because although everybody knows that the reciprocation is purely a tactic, it also shows the level of confidence in oneself, to see the problem from the other person's point of view, and within both sides, within their minds, there's this constant battle of, are they being sincere or are they just doing tactics? And the better relationship one builds, and especially the better product, service, brand, communication people have, then the more trust there is, and the more they want something, so you can come to an agreement that both sides can wield. So that's it. Yeah, very interesting call with FinSimco guys. I'm glad I'm part of the team helping out, and it's something I really recommend to everybody who doesn't know what to do. Write to startup on LinkedIn. Just look up startups in your sector. Look up the top hottest 100 startups in your country for your sector. There's plenty of news magazines that release these kind of things. And then just have a look at them, have a look at the profiles of the founders, etc. If you like them, if you can connect them with them on a personal level, then just write them and have a chat, and they might be able to suggest another startup they know of that might actually really suit your interests. So it's not necessarily going direct to the person, but it's just having conversation, and they will definitely know more people in the industry. Much in the same way that if somebody turns up to your school, to your company, to your university, it's very easy for you to point and say, oh, hey, look, this guy is very good at rugby, for example, or this guy is very good at doing rugby in their spare time, or has this hobby. So that's how I see it. And interesting episode for this morning. I'm going to go back to working on my thesis. And let's have a productive day.